This is America's oldest soccer tournament. Built in small towns with big dreams. From local grounds to the biggest stages, part-timers and major leaguers chase the same thing. A cup that doesn't care about your club's payroll or what the pundits say. A cup that invites the chaos and carries a legacy. Under the lights, between the lines, it's one match at a time. To cement your name in history. This is the 111th edition of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.
Greetings, everybody, from PEG Energy Stadium in Laredo, Texas. It is round one coverage of the 111th Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup tonight as USL League Two side Laredo Heat go toe-to-toe with the USL Championship side El Paso Locomotive. Alongside Ricky Lopez Espert and our entire crew, Sean St. Jacques, happy to have you with us. A little bit more on Laredo Heat. They were founded just over 20 years ago, back in 2004. Johnny Ibarra is their coach. He's also their leading goal scorer and leading assist man of all time. And Ricky, they won 11 of their 12 games in the Lone Star Division last season to qualify for the Open Cup tonight.
Johnny Ibarra knows exactly what to do to be successful, so that's going to be the message to his side. Yes, he's going to be an attacking style of a coach, but defensively, they need to do a really good job at same compact, at keeping everything in front of them against the El Paso Locomotive side that is full of confidence.
Speaking of El Paso Locomotive, Junior Gonzalez has done a wonderful job with them in the early days of the season. They finished in the top four last year under Wilmer Cabrera, coming off a record cup run for El Paso in the Open Cup as well. And like you said, Ricky, so far in the league, they've been really good as well this year.
A lot better on the ball. They want to be connected, but they also have a lot of fluidity through that front three, and that is something that we've seen from Junior Gonzalez. Again, the first 10 to 15 minutes are really important for this Locomotive side just to get in a rhythm.
It's an all-Texas showdown here, round one of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Let's dive a little bit deeper. We go into the starting lineups for both teams. Laredo Heat's average age is just under 24 years of age. And at home, they tend to play really well. El Paso, though, of late have traveled well in the league.
You're looking at Laredo Heat, that front three, Jung, Espinal, Montoya. They need to do a really good job at playing off of one another. Espinal, he's going to be the one that's going to stay high and occupy the two center backs, while on the other side for El Paso Locomotive, the heart of this side is going to be the midfield. Mendez, a single pivot, Calvillo, and Gomez. Look for them to dictate tempo and understand when to put pressure on Laredo Heat, but also just when to have the ball and circulate it from left to right.
It is Laredo Heat's 7th ever appearance in the Open Cup, their first since 2019. So it's been quite some time since we've seen them. It's great to have them back. And El Paso are coming off their longest ever stint in the Open Cup a season ago. And we are off and running. Good crowd still filing in here at PEG Energy Stadium. It is Laredo Heat going from left to right in their home kits. El Paso are in their road whites that made the roughly 9-hour journey, as far as the drive is concerned, to get from El Paso to Laredo tonight. And we are certainly fascinated to see how this one will unfold. El Paso's coming off a 3-0 victory away to Monterey Bay last time out in the USL Championship. And Johnny Ibarra's group, they tend to be really difficult to deal with here at home. There's multiple reasons for that. They've got quite the talented squad. On top of that, the Texas Heat tends to wear their opponents down. But if anyone's used to that kind of climate, it might be El Paso Locomotive, who rely on that in their home games in the USL Championship.
And something that we don't really see from lower level teams pressing higher to start a match, understanding that you can put the pressure on El Paso Locomotive, see how quickly they can adapt to this pressure. So it tells you Johnny Ibarra feels full of confidence without his side, trying to force turnovers higher up the field.
Our referee tonight is Edgar Garcia. There was a handball in there, so Laredo Heat are back in possession in their own half. It's back for Sebastian Mora, who gets the start for Locomotive in goal tonight. Just El Paso's second ever round one game in the Open Cup. They won 5-1 over Harpos FC last year, which, by the way, was the most goals Locomotive had ever scored in a single Open Cup game. They went on to beat Ventura County of MLS Next Pro, and then beat their arch rivals in the derby, New Mexico United. After that was a classic Open Cup tie last year, before having a 2-0 lead against Austin in the round after that. Unfortunately for them, Austin came back and won it by 3-2 and finally knock out, at the time, Wilmer Cabrera's men. Of course, Junior Gonzalez is well versed in the Open Cup in his day as well. And he said in his pre-match thoughts, we're not taking Laredo Heat lightly whatsoever. We know what this cup competition can provide as far as cup sets. We've had one or two already today alone, and he has El Paso ready to roll tonight. Cross-field ball, lovely placed onto this near side. Chance for Sael Montoya, who's a Laredo native. And the layoff for Escobar. Escobar in behind. Oh, it was a free header. But it skims over the top and goes out of play as Laredo nearly play their way through there.
Really well done from Escobar. The rotations on this right-hand side with Montoya as Escobar comes century, and it's a timing from Espinal just to play off the shoulder of Chumasi. Really well done from Laredo Heat and showing a little bit of class and comfortability on the ball.
A chance for El Paso to go forward. I think the referees brought this back. It's an El Paso free kick. I think Laredo were arguing it wasn't taken from the right spot. Either way, it's back in play. Farkalen trying to knife that ball through. It's well recovered by Vasco Tavares initially there for Laredo. Goes back out for a throw-in to Locomotive. And that ball looped over the top. Is going to roll all the way through to Mark Bonaire, who gets the start for the Heat in goal tonight. Well, the town of Laredo is right on that U.S.-Mexico border, just 5 miles from the Rio Grande River. Have to give a shout out, by the way, to Jonah Fontella. USsoccer.com gave everyone in his article about Laredo Heat a wonderful history lesson about this town, about this area of the country. It actually used to be the capital of its own country. Back in 1840, for 283 days, the country, the Republic of the Rio Grande, used to be part of an independent Texas, was once part of Mexico as well before that. It's such a fascinating town. Taken away from the Heat just for a moment there, just by itself, it has so much history in this part of the country. But even the fact that the Laredo Heat are here is quite the story as well. Sashi Vaswani, who's the owner of the club, came to Toronto as an immigrant from the India-Pakistan border, then came down to Laredo. When he was 15 years old in Laredo, he wanted to play organized soccer. There wasn't any. So in 2004, as he put it, to ensure that no child in Laredo would ever face that same dead end again, the Laredo Heat were born.
Round of applause, Sean.
Pretty incredible. And again, another tip of the cap. Jonah Fontella put together this article with all those details in it. Fascinating stuff and just an incredible story. Again, why we love this competition, why we love the Open Cup.
Just so many stories, so many bright moments that you start to learn. You just learn from youth today. You learn something every day. Impressive. Be able to translate that story into our fans watching here on the US Soccer YouTube channel.
It's hooked forward by Derek Espinal. And Sebastian Mora. Ooh, had a little bit of trouble with that, Mora. Pops it into the air. And Laredo Heat will get a throw-in on this near side.
Laredo Heat has found success when they play quickly into this near side. Montoya, Espinal, and Escobar have shown their verticality and their directness. A bit shaky to start this game defensively for the Locomotive.
Sebastian Rivera will put this into play. He'll go down the line towards the byline here. It's well done by Nicolas Cardona defensively here. And eventually Locomotive clear their lines just about. Laredo recover it through Vasco Tavares. This is Ian Reese. And Reese tries to thread the needle down this far side. It is shepherded out for a goal kick to El Paso. We talked about how the Laredo Heat are here because of their Lone Star Division title in USL League 2. They were the 2007 PDL National Champions. This PDL is now USL League 2, and their coach, Johnny Ibarra, was on that team. He's the club's all-time leading goal scorer and assist getter as well. He's been a part of pretty much every notable moment that the Laredo Heat have had in the club's history, and there have been quite a few. They did make it to the round of 32 in the 2014 US Open Cup. They beat Division II at the time, Fort Lauderdale Strikers. At the time, we're in NASL play. They were 2-0 down in that game, Laredo Heat. They came back, won it 3-2 with a stoppage time penalty. And Johnny Ibarra told in USsoccer.com it was the best moment the club has had so far. That's a lovely turn edge of the area, and the shot wasn't half bad either, but Mora had it covered, and it's a goal kick.
It's been so impressive to see Laredo Heat and the tempo that they're just playing at. Notice how quick this ball's moving. Fantastic body position from Jung, already on the half turn once he receives it, enabling him to have a strike at goal. I'll tell you what, 10 minutes in, Laredo Heat's been the better side, and no question whatsoever.
Oh, lovely ball work there. Get it back to the halfway line and a reset with the captain, Ivan Zamora. Back on the front foot with Escobar. And Escobar drives one, saved by Mora. Out for a corner as Laredo Heat keep putting the heat on Los Locos.
A little bit of flair, a little bit of class, and nice pocket of space from Escobar. And I love the aggressiveness. That second touch allows him just to pound this ball into that far post. Really good save in the end from Mora, who sees it late. But again, Laredo Heat asking a lot of questions of El Paso.
And now they have a good set-piece opportunity to work with here. It's getting a little bit contentious just to the right of the penalty spot here, so our referee wants to clean that up. From the corner, it's looped towards the back stick, punched away by Mora, with Tavares bearing down on him. And then Farkalan, was he fouled here on this near side? No, I think the referee is going to stop it for a possible injury here involving Sebastian Mora, who was inside the 6. Not the sight that El Paso fans want to see inside of the first 11 minutes here. We'll take another look.
As a goalkeeper, if you do step off of your line, you need to command your 6-yard box. Really awkward for Mora. It seems like his left shoulder, as he lands, a bit awkwardly on it.
Might have even had his head also hit the shoulder of the opposition as well. Like Mora just needed a moment here. Junior Gonzalez, of course, did bring Abraham Romero as a backup goalkeeper with him tonight. But Mora looks to be okay. That's a good thing to see. And now, the referee, I think, is deciding here How to resume. It's going to be a drop ball. I think both teams are trying to remind the referee where it was when the whistle blew. It's a drop ball for El Paso. Cardona closed down nicely again on this near side.
Just far too long for Cardona. It's been about the third time that he's almost got his pocket pick. Needs to be a lot quicker in terms of his decision making, understanding where he's going to go with the ball before he receives it.
Chumasi out wide. Pressure by Jung, but El Paso do play through that initial press and then give it away in the next breath. Surely a handball. And the referee does acknowledge it. It's going to be a free kick for the hosts. Well, not the best touch there. Oh, and the shot nearly slithers through. Mora towards Escobar. Ball still in play for Laredo here. Spoon back out to that far side. Chance to maybe put this back into the area. And in the end, it's going to go back towards the halfway line for a reset for Laredo Heat.
Really impressed with the movement and the positionings that Escobar continues to pick up in. As they play direct, has a really good feel of picking up. Watch out.
Farkelen nearly picks the pocket there, but Laredo play through. And they could have some space to run into here. It's going to be clipped over to the far side. Lovely distribution to keep Laredo on the front foot. Another lovely incisive feed towards Escobar. Zamora. Quick feed on that far side by Jung. Jung on the layoff here. Romero. Rivera. Onto this near side for Montoya. The 17-year-old tries to bend one in there. And Mora has it covered.
Montoya, left footer, playing the right-hand side, so he's always going to try to challenge into the interior and get this ball on his preferred left foot to look to combine. This time, not enough contact on the shot. Easy save for Moore, but again, Laredo Heat did a really good job at just changing the point of attack at a really high tempo.
Near side, Jimmy Farkelen. El Paso bluffs to sprint down this near side and had Cardona on his 6. Chumasi out wide. Maybe a chance for El Paso to create something here. There's Eric Calvio. Tony Alfaro. Calvio out to the far side. And it's fizzed into the middle. Chance to back heel this. And Abitia was beaten to it in the end. It ricochets out of play.
Good movement from Abitia. The number 9 for El Paso Locomotive. His timing here to just slash across his individual marker. In the end, they are doing just enough to throw off the oncoming striker. Best action for El Paso.
Bonaire. Here's the Laredo lines here. Pressure from Jung. Miscommunication leads to a takeaway here. And the ball in behind for Jung had too much pace on it. And it's a goal kick.
It's going to be really interesting, Sean, just to see if Laredo Heat can continue this tempo throughout the 90 minutes. A lot of times, especially in round 1 of the Open Cup, we see teams start off very hot, very fast. But as their game fitness start to really impact the tempo, that is when the professional teams start to take over. El Paso Locomotive has gone through a preseason. They've had a numerous of league games already, so their game fitness is a little bit higher than Laredo Heat. So understanding and finding that balance is going to be really important for the League 2 side.
El Paso really kind of checked off all the boxes in the affirmative in the championship so far this season. Offensively, they look good. Defensively, we've seen improvements as well under Junior Gonzalez. Still early returns, of course, but look at many of the El Paso stats so far in USL Championship play. And they have looked very, very strong indeed. But airs ball forward, little cushioned header into the path of Jung. Pressure there from Abitia. Coming together there, referee says play on. Alfaro for Cardona. Gets past the first challenge, finds Farkalen. Goes back to Cardona, it's swept around here by El Paso to Calvillo. To the byline, back across, and it nearly trickles in. Avila put it right back into the mix, and Farkalen could not reach it.
Just lovely football here from El Paso Locomotive. This ball here from Calvillo breaks a couple lines. And notice the back line of Laredo. What are they doing? They're retreating. So that opens up space for Avila. Farkalen almost at the doorstep, that second post. When El Paso Locomotive, they're quick. When they're decisive, they're really difficult to break through and to stop, as shown in USL Championship.
First real look there at Beto Avila tonight, who actually is a former Laredo Heat player. There's actually two players on the El Paso Open Cup roster who are former Laredo Heat players. Memo Diaz, who has not made the trip tonight, is the other. So if you want examples, if the Laredo Heat system works, two of them are playing them tonight, or at least on the opposition's colors. It's going to be brought back for a foul and a free kick.
Here, Junior Gonzalez screaming out from his technical area, saying there's just too much space in between the lines of El Paso Locomotive, and that's why you start to see Romero, Zamora, Escobar in central locations for Laredo Heat, just to have the ability to spin their marker, and the game starts to open up. So you need to be a little bit more compact if you are the visiting side.
The ball played out to the far side. There was two Laredo Heat players queuing up in the middle. This is Jung to the byline, tries to pirouette and muscles his way to stay on the ball. Then was he tripped? It's a moot point. It's a Laredo Heat throw-in the end, just to the left of the corner flag. From the throw-in to Jung, it's laid off. El Paso collapse on it here, and they will clear it. Only for a moment. Laredo are right back on. It's been pretty strong, to say the least, opening 20 minutes on the USL League 2 side here at home. Long ball looped over the top. It's going to just about stay in play. Did it come off a hand? Yes, it did. It's an El Paso free kick. Another handball appeal comes in. One back by Laredo. This is Jung. A lovely hold-up play there from Espinal. Allows the host to keep it here. This is Rivera. Combination of Tavares and Reese out of the back. Oh, lovely move there by Jung to play it out to the far side. There's numbers in the middle for Laredo here. Oh, and the shot's just wide. Oh, you wondered for a moment if Laredo had played their way through. The shot is agonizingly wide of the target.
Jung has been so impressive from his left winger position, and I love this early ball. Puts a lot of pressure on El Paso's back line, who's already retreating, facing their own goal. As this ball pops out, Espinal does a really good job at hitting it first time. Just so unfortunate, unable to put it on target. But again, Laredo Heat finding so much success breaking through lines when trying to play out of the back.
from Mora. More good pressure by Jung and company here, along with the likes of Derek Espinal. Hear the fans chanting, "Go, Heat, go." Providing a great soundtrack to this Open Cup night in Texas. Diagonal ball played over the top here. Bonaire had to get there. He's down, play continues, the goal is gaping here. A little bit surprised the referee let that go. It's just a corner in the end for El Paso, and questions are being asked of the referee from both sides here.
Almost looking like an Eddie Guerrero challenge with this ball over the top. But Avila has every single right to challenge for this ball. It's a 50-50. He actually gets there before Bonaire, and it's the aftermath that gets the goalkeeper in trouble. There's nothing in that whatsoever. It's a fantastic no call from Edgar Garcia.
El Paso have a corner after the dust settles from that moment. And good sportsmanship. Bonaire and Avila shook hands just a moment ago on the edge of the goal mouth. And from the corner itself, it's a flicked header towards the outskirts of the area here. Cardona recycles it for Calvillo. Calvillo out to the far side. Tony Alfaro gives the ball away. Laredo have it on this near side with Montoya, and Montoya is dispossessed.
Good recovery from Cardona there. But if you are Alfaro, you need to be a lot more sure that this ball is going to connect with your left back. The last thing that you want to have happen is that ball get picked off, and it's a 3v2 going back the other way.
Ooh, you wondered for a moment if Laredo were off to the races there. Referee had a moment to think about that one. Free kick, El Paso.
As Avila comes underneath, I'll tell you what, not a lot in that. Just seems like Jung just comes around the corner from Avila. Edgar Garcia has a really good look at it in terms of his angle.
Rivera does well there, some El Paso pressure here, but Laredo so far have handled it pretty well with their quick passing. And back by Rivera, cleared by Tavares. Oh, and this time the referee's given El Paso another free kick midway through the Laredo half. The timing on the decisions have not sat well with the Laredo faithful here. Decent position for Los Locos for a set piece. Just two in the Laredo wall here. It's from quite some distance out. It's going to be a shot. Oh, and Bonaire is able to spoon it out of danger at the expense of a corner. It was certainly dipping.
Really difficult save here from Bonaire, especially as this ball is dipping at the last second right in front of him. Does a really good job at keeping his body behind the ball and parrying it wide, not allowing a second bite at the apple.
The shot was from Alex Mendez, who scored a similar goal against Monterey Bay in the league last time out. That time Bonaire made the stop. And from the ensuing corner, strong header away by Tavares. Back out for Calvillo, flick towards goal. And Chumasi, and Bonaire is there.
Starting to find their rhythm, this Locomotive side. Eric Calvillo doing a really good job at just staying centrally and right there covering a lot of ground.
It's going to be a foul and a free kick going the other way. Looks like Espinal picks up a yellow card, possibly for an outstretched arm here.
Now watch the right arm here from Espinal, away from his body. Head height, Mayor Calvillo catches the experienced midfielder for El Paso Locomotive.
Clearly was trying to fend him off, but the referee saw the contact. And Espinal is in the book for Laredo Heat. And it's Calvillo who needs a moment or two here. Captaining Los Locos tonight, it's Eric Calvillo's 5th season as an El Paso player, going back to 2022. So Derek Espinal is into the book there for Laredo Heat. Free kick for El Paso. Left edge of the center circle. Try to slither it through the lines here for Calvillo. Cardona closed down and settles for a throw. Played to the edge of the area. Laredo fighting to try and alleviate the pressure, and the referee obliges. It's a foul and a free kick going the other way.
Start to see the momentum shift in this game as we do approach the 30th minute. El Paso Locomotive getting on the ball a little bit more, being a bit more clever in their decision making, and doing that. Now you have Laredo Heat start to chase, expend a little bit more energy.
Laredo Heat trying to hold the play up here. Paso eventually, through Avila and company, find an escape route. Back for Alfaro. Back to him from Cardona. Pressure there from Escobar.
This near side for El Paso Locomotive needs to figure things out between Cardona and Farquhar. They're playing on the same plane. That is why you start to see Cardona trying to play into the interior, because if he's providing the width, Farquhar needs to come more centrally. It's far too easily to defend.
An early cross there to the edge of the area. Ricochets out for a throw into the hosts. Half an hour gone, plenty of positives for Laredo Heat, but El Paso have taken the early moments of pressure and have started to certainly change the momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, the longer this is 0-0, just plays into the hands of Laredo Heat in terms of giving them more confidence, giving them a little bit more hope. That's why we love the Open Cup. Anything can happen. One single play, a player producing a little bit of magic, is the difference between moving on and going home.
It's Nicolas Cardona. And Laredo win the ball back and high up the field as well with Espinal. Jung over to his left, Espinal into the middle here. Oh, it nearly fell for a big chance. Chumasi, critical defensive intervention for Locomotive. It's out for a throw.
Fantastic recognition from Espinal to pick up his head, and notice how he's a little bit patient when he does read this ball. Right there, slows himself down, which allows his two attacking players to get in more aggressive positions. Really good idea. Chumasi doing a fantastic job at reading this in his recovery run to deny the opening goal.
Laredo are still on the front foot here with a throw-in. Into Zamora, who gets it back. It's clipped into the middle, looking for Espinal, who goes down. Was he dragged down? Referee waves away the penalty shout. Sent back into the middle, Espinal again. Alfaro's header clear. Well, I wonder if the referee didn't have the right angle on that. It looked like there was a shirt pull. Wasn't enough for a penalty. The referee obviously says no. Abitia holds up the play for El Paso up the other end. Chumasi. The intricate El Paso feeds. It's out wide to the far side. Early cross into the middle. And Abitia's header is going to go out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, look at the right side of your screen. Alfaro, there is a little bit of a jersey pull. I'll tell you what. If Edgar Garcia points at 12 yards out, that's not an argument. You cannot run the risk of having a handful of the jersey of the opposition player extended away from your body.
You made a great point earlier, Ricky, about the referee's proximity on certain calls. I wonder if Edgar Garcia maybe didn't get the right look at that we did. Again, referees can't be everywhere at once. But Laredo Heat are still pushing here for the opening goal. It's a wonderful run! Oh, and Mora makes the stop. Out for a corner. It was a wonderful run through a couple El Paso defenders.
The ability to be comfortable in tight spaces from Escobar, it's just been so impressive to watch. But now it comes down to decision making. You need to play this ball into Montoya right now. You do quite well to fend off about 3 Locomotive players, but the angle is just so tight to that near post, allowing more to come across. If you just pick up your head, it's a 1v1 for Montoya near side of your screen.
Still a corner for the Laredo Heat. And the referee still is trying to crack down on some of the physical play here, edge of the area. Time Tony Alfaro was summoned by the referee just for a word or two about the physicality here. I think a Laredo player was also sent to this near side. Might have been for an issue here. Oh, and now the referee's trotting over to this near side where the coaching staffs are, and a yellow card is in hand here. And I believe a yellow card's just been shown on this near side. Did not see towards who. Well, if we get more info on that, we will let you know, of course. From the corner, Mora makes a comfortable catch. Just under 10 minutes, plus stoppages left in the half. It's been a good half. No questions about that.
Look, it's been even. The tempo's been quite high. We've seen some brilliant individual efforts. Laredo Heat not backing down whatsoever versus this El Paso Locomotive side.
This is Chumasi. Played in field for Calvillo. Calvillo, lovely return on this give and go to the byline. The cross is deflected, and Laredo will clear their lines. And they'll get a throw in as well on the far side. Another lovely weaving run, close control there to keep multiple El Paso defenders off the ball. And a little bit too overcooked on that pass back on the near side. Carduna's throw there, Farkalen, Abitia. Play continues, Calvillo up ahead. El Paso are lurking here, and the shot is saved by Marc Bonaire off the bounce.
Every single time Eric Calvillo gets on the ball, that front three becomes a little bit more expansive, allowing them time and space to attack this Laredo Heat backline. So if you are Junior Gonzalez, getting number 6 a little bit more impactful, higher up the field will be a massive talking point once halftime runs around.
Alfaro. Chumasi under some pressure from Espinal. Alfaro from Calvillo. Cardona. Farkalen does really well, keeps it in play. And on the turn, it's crossed into the middle. Abitia couldn't quite control it. Calvillo tried to feed it back into the danger area, but couldn't find anybody. Talked earlier about Johnny Ibarra and his impact on this Laredo Heat club. All the history that he's been a part of with this group as Alex Mendez tries to spin through there. He's going to be chopped down. That's a free kick for El Paso. And certainly within range.
Really sloppy when trying to play out of the back. Really good recognition from Mendez and good feet in terms of a tight area. Really good opportunity again for El Paso Locomotive to put pressure on Bonaire and this Laredo Heat back line.
It's not quite from the same spot, but it's in a similar area to the goal that Alex Mendez scored against Monterey Bay at the weekend in USL Championship action in Seaside, California. It's about 10 yards further infield. Calvillo is also interested in this with 4 in the Laredo wall. It is going to be Mendez. And Bonaire was interested, but it flies over the bar.
Impressive, the technique that Mendez strikes the ball with. Almost Ronaldo-esque as is dipping, moving, swirling. That's on target. That is a nightmare to deal with as a goalkeeper because you have no idea where this ball's ending up.
Bonaire will send it forward. 5 minutes plus stoppages left in the half. That's headed over the top towards Jung. Referee brings it back. That's a foul against El Paso here. It's a free kick for Laredo. You can actually hear Johnny Ibarra asking the referee for a yellow card here on the near side. His players are continuing that conversation with our head referee.
Espinal has been a handful, whether it is holding up his marker, but also the ability to spin, and that is a foul. Alfaro comes through the back. Very lucky to not see yellow there.
I say Alfaro's had a couple of interesting adventures in this first half. This is dinked over the top, trying to catch El Paso out. They do not, Laredo. And Los Locos clear it back into the opposite half. Clever from Zamora. Couldn't quite feed it through, but follows up here for Laredo. Finds Montoya, the teenager. Crossfield ball by Rivera. That's going to be clipped over the top. Mora is there. You see Montoya there, 18 in the Laredo home colors. He's actually been coached by Johnny Ibarra since he was 7 years old and has come through this Laredo setup again. He's a Laredo native. His parents are both from Mexico, but he was born and raised in Laredo, Texas.
I think there's a little bit of comfortability there.
I think so. A decade's worth of a relationship for sure with your coach helps. He had such a thoughtful quote in that article I referenced earlier. He said, living in a border town, it helps us a lot because we learn from different cultures, not only from one. He said, that helps us grow up because we see different things from different perspectives. And I think it's just such a thoughtful line from such a young and impressionable player. Just goes back to the credit for really Johnny Ibarra, also Montoya's family, everyone around him. He has that kind of a thoughtful perspective. As this shot is driven in. And again, Escobar is thwarted by Mora. More Laredo Heat pressure off the back of that.
How fun have Laredo Heat been when they go forward? Players not backing down whatsoever, taking the responsibility on their shoulders, hitting it quite well from distance, really putting pressure on Moore, the goalkeeper for the Locomotive.
Farkalen dashing down this near side, little back heel in the path of Alex Mendez. Calvio surveys the scene here. Chumasi out wide. Chance to maybe get this service into the middle. A BTN company, we're asking for it. Some patient El Paso build-up here towards the end of the half. Alfaro directing traffic. Cardona. Farkalen. Trying to get past one. Gets back on the end of another feed. And then it's redirected towards the edge of the area and well shepherded by Reese de Bonaire. A strong defensive stand from Laredo Heat despite some positive and patient El Paso build-up play. Another challenge there out of the air, and the referee gives a free kick to Locomotive. Do have to mention Espinal has been very aggressive in those moments. Is now, of course, on a yellow card, so he'll have to be a little bit more cautious, particularly if he wants to leave the ground. And we are into 2 added minutes at the end of the half in the Open Cup.
Just no real vertical threat here for the Locomotive. Notice left side of your screen. Abitia wants the ball to feet, so the runs have to come elsewhere. Farkalen or Avila need to test the shape of Laredo. Everything has been in front of the home side.
Here is Farkalen. Chopping it back, he's well covered, and he commits a foul on the back end of that free kick for the Heat.
But again, it's a small detail, but how comfortable Montoya is in tight spaces just to knock this out around the outstretched leg of the Locomotive player. Draw the foul, really well done in terms of the work rate as well from the winger.
Bonaire will send this forward. Just under a minute left in the half. Another physical challenge out of the air. And then was Jung fouled. He tried to maneuver past Chumasi. Referee again lets the play continue. Back from Mora. Calvio. So time for maybe one more attack in this first half of play. Laredo do well. They get in the passing lanes there and win it back. And try to maneuver down this far side. Challenge comes in there. Free kick. And there's going to be a yellow card brandished as well on the back end of that challenge.
The quickness, the verticality, the directness from the wide parts of the field for Laredo Heat. Called a nightmare for El Paso Locomotive. Knowing that if they do leave their feet, they need to be extremely sure that they're going to recover the ball. Quick ball movement, fantastic usage of the body. Really difficult to tell from that angle who picks up the yellow.
This is headed square by Reese and cleared out of the 18-yard box as the half ends in Laredo, Texas. What a good half. Obviously a stalemate at the halftime break. Both teams had plenty of positive moments, and the good news is that there's more to come.
Laredo Heat, better the two teams on the ball, a little bit more threatening. If you are Junior Gonzalez, what you say at halftime needs to strike a chord with its El Paso Locomotive side because they were far too passive, especially defensively.
Good one brewing here in the opening round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. 0-0 at the half between Laredo Heat and El Paso Locomotive. More coming up after a break.
Rodman cuts inside. Rodman to the far corner. It's a special goal from Trinity Rodman. Macario goes to tip the keeper. It's sublime. Lamar from distance. Across goal, Balogun! Laredo puts up for Alex Rodman cuts inside. Rodman to the far corner. It's a special goal from Trinity Rodman. Macario goes to tip the keeper. It's sublime. Lamar from distance. Rodman cuts inside. Rodman to the far corner. It's a special goal from Trinity Rodman. Macario goes to tip the keeper. It's sublime. Lamar from distance.
I think for this group, our path to the final was one of resilience. This group has this belief in themselves and this idea that we've seen it all before in this tournament. We've gone through basically every scenario that you can, and there's just this belief that we're ready to roll with whatever comes our way.
You know, for people that is more kind of romantic on football, I'm coming from a country where, cup games are really, really special. And I feel the same kind of here, a young club that is building towards a club that wants to be in finals like I will be tomorrow. To have this opportunity is the one that, you want to take.
Oh man, I think Nashville SC kind of represents the best of both worlds when it comes to a team playing with togetherness, some star players that are able to give you the ooh and ahs and the crowd reaction. But more than anything, I think this team represents a market that is new to the soccer landscape in this level in the country, but at the same time, I think a lot of people can identify with our style of play and the way that our guys go about their business collectively. And we have a good group of guys that's been together for a long time and are ready to take the step to put Nashville on the map in terms of hardware.
We're a club that wanted to pursue trophies, so January 10th when we got together, it was about chasing trophies. And then you start the actual tournament, and for us it was not an easy journey. Competitive games where we had to call on everybody, and I think that's what makes this final really special, is that we really truly had contributions from the top to the bottom of the roster, and different guys stepping up at different times. And for me, that's the beauty of the competition. It's what's earned our way into the final.
Welcome in to the 110th Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Final, as one of these two sides, Austin FC and Nashville FC, will win their first trophy in club history. For Austin FC, their 5th season in Major League Soccer. For Nashville, their 6th, with a chance to make history tonight in this Cup Final. It will be dramatic. It will be tense from minute one. Nashville FC hoping to be the first professional sports team in Tennessee to win a major trophy. Austin hoping to be the first trophy winners in their club history. The atmosphere continues to build. What a night in Central Texas. The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Final is underway as Austin FC hosts Nashville FC.
For Austin, Wolf delivering and headed away. Chested down there from Schaffelberg, and Mukhtar! Off the bounce! Nashville getting the opening goal in the Cup Final! Entered towards Owen Wolf, controlling neatly and played it behind towards Uzuni, who gets there ahead of Schwaki. It's a penalty! Oh, here's Mita Uzuni, saved by Schwaki! Austin's chance to equalize the game denied. Ilie just about keeping into Uzuni. Uzuni! There's your response. There's your goal. He missed the penalty earlier, but gets right back in the chances. And Austin right back in the Open Cup Final. Taxeth delivering the corner, and there's a man down in the area, and it's given as a penalty. And it's those two that were getting tangled before. Here's Surridge to give Nashville the lead again. It's down the middle, and Nashville back in front. And there it is from Tori Penso. Nashville SC have won the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, winning their first trophy in club history and the first major trophy in the history of Tennessee professional sports. What a reward for Sam Surridge and Hadi Mukhtar and every member of this Nashville SC squad and staff. They celebrate. Nashville are the 110th U.S. Open Cup champions.
Welcome back, everybody. At the half in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup opening round, it is 0-0 between Laredo Heat of USL League 2 and El Paso Locomotive out of the USL Championship. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez, Espen, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. Of course, we'll have the second half coming up in just a few moments. But we still have the first half to recap. Asking You Shall Receive. Some halftime highlights, Ricky.
Aztec Warrior, this is for you, this halftime recap. Really well done here by Escobar, playing in between the lines, forcing a really good save. For Amora, he sees it late, but there was so much space in between lines for Laredo Heat. They continue to win not only the first ball, but the second ball, and had a really good shots from distance, forcing some nice saves from Mora.
But El Paso rode a little bit of that momentum and then started to be creative themselves in the opposite third.
Once Eric Calvillo got on the ball, it just was music to Junior Gonzalez's ears, the ability to pull the strings, have his front three be a little bit more aggressive and more expansive. Laredo Heat, they struggled sometimes when playing out of the back, but once they played direct, once they bypassed that initial line of pressure, they found a lot of success. And then it comes down to their decision making as Escobar picks his head up. This ball needs to be popped out into Montoya on this near side. In the end, El Paso Locomotive unable to get any shots on target.
Good attempt there from Alex Mendez, and then Laredo Heat probably had the better chances in this first half. This was another attempt late on.
A lot of their shots were from distance, and they hit them well. Good save for Moore. He's been the best player for El Paso Locomotive between the sticks.
Look at the halftime stats between these two so far, and it tells quite the story. Shots are tied at 8 apiece. Laredo Heat edging El Paso in shots on target, as I alluded to earlier, quality chances.
Laredo Heat has been the more threatening side between the two. They've been putting more pressure on the opposition center backs. You're looking at players like Calvillo, Gomez, and Mendez for Junior Gonzalez that need to take a hold of this game, take the sting away from Laredo Heat. If you can get on the ball, be a little bit more influential, then you can almost try to put more pressure on Laredo Heat's back line.
So it is 0-0 at the half between Laredo Heat and El Paso Locomotive. First half showed a lot of good pace, a lot of good energy to the game. So far, we're very excited to see how the second 45 is going to shape up between these two. You mentioned the stats there, yellow cards. We should point out as well, Derek Espinal is on a yellow card for Laredo Heat. We did clear up the El Paso yellow card. Danny Gomez ended up getting the booking for that late challenge at the end of the first half. So both coaches a little bit to work with there as far as keeping their players disciplined heading into this game. Remember, for Laredo Heat, they returned to the Open Cup for the first time since 2019. So we'll see if they can go on and maybe pull off a cup set here in the second half. There have been a couple of cup sets already today in round one coverage in the Open Cup. Virginia Dream beat Carolina Core earlier by 2-1, so the next pro side gets bounced out. And Forward Madison at a USL League 1 fell 2-0 to the Flint City Bucks. Just another night in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. We should also remind you, Tennessee Tempo taking on Chattanooga Red Wolves. The Red Wolves did arrive there safely for the game. They're in the 21st minute. That game is at a 0-0 scoreline. As you can see there, the upcoming Open Cup schedule. Second round kicks off at the end of the month, March 31st into the start of April. Then the round of 32. Obviously, MLS teams will start coming in around that time. Round of 16 quarterfinals in April and May. September for the semis. And then we'll lift the trophy towards the end of October in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup for the 111th time in this wonderful competition's history. Very, very exciting to see how all of this is going to unfold. And while you're looking at that, we can tell you that El Paso are making some changes here at the start of the second half, and looks like multiple changes for Junior Gonzalez. There you are, bottom half of your screen. That is Ricky Ruiz coming in for Nicolas Cardona at the start of the second half. For Robert Coronado's coming on as well. Noah Dolenmeyer, Dominican Republic international, just been recently called up again by his national team. He's also in, so looks to be a triple change for Junior Gonzalez at the start of the second half. And you saw there, Danny Gomez is withdrawn. So Gomez on the yellow will not continue on, replaced by Coronado. Ruiz comes in for Cardona. Noah Dolenmeyer in as well for Los Locos.
Ricky Ruiz is a really interesting sub coming in at that left back position, because now you have a natural left footer playing at that slot, so he's going to give you the versatility, but also the ball range that he can just whip a ball in down that far side. Dolenmeyer is going to give you physicality as a big center back, really comfortable on the ball. And Coronado, his relationship with Calvillo underneath that front three, experience, cleverness, and the ability to find that final ball and hopes to try to unlock this Laredo Heat back line.
And for now, it looks like Laredo are unchanged from the side that began the night. Team switch sides, start of the second half. El Paso will kick us off. They're going from left to right here at Peg Energy Stadium in Laredo, Texas. Good crowd, good atmosphere here. Opening round of the Open Cup, 0-0 between Laredo Heat and El Paso. Second half is underway. Beto Avila, former Laredo player, has it on the near side for Locomotive. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez Espin. Always a pleasure to be with you. It's been a really good game to take in so far. Fascinated to see how the second half will unfold. There is Dolenmeyer. As you can see, came on for Tony Alfaro at the start of the second half. Not surprised that Junior Gonzalez made that move. Alfaro played with fire, so to speak, a few times in that first half. Dolenmeyer's been so steady, not just for Junior Gonzalez, but last year as well for Wilmer Cabrera with El Paso. Laredo win it back on this near side, trying to poke it through for Jung. Jung picks his head up, plays it out to the far side. Be a chance here, Montoya poking it along. And Chumasi clears the lines for El Paso. Again, just if you need it, a lot of changes at once. Ruiz, Dolenmeyer, and Coronado in. Gomez, Cardona, Alfaro out for Locomotive. Who win the ball back here. Beto Avila cuts in field, lays it off. That's a critical defensive touch on the back end there by Laredo Heat. And they'll clear their line. Oh, they'll try to clear their lines. Good recovery here by Avila, just never gave up on it. Jung played it square. And one too many nibbles there eventually alleviates the pressure. And then a little bit of a flare-up afterwards.
We're seeing the Locomotive press a little bit higher. Something that we did not see in that first 45 minutes, especially once this ball goes wide. They're just trying to squeeze and keep this game in front of them. So if you are Laredo Heat, understanding that if they do press high, that leaves some real estate in behind them so the direct ball can be on into your front three.
Played short by Bonaire before it's sent ahead. Ooh, a little bit of miscommunication there, but it's lifted over the top by Zamora. Good cushioned header down from Mora. Chumasi. Once again, Laredo are all over it. Jung, who just continues to shine and sparkle for Laredo Heat, does really well again there.
Yeah, the work rate for Jung. You see his quality on the ball. Really to drive that, the back line, but just to dig down deep and do his defensive duties as well. Really impressive showing.
Whistle there, free kick for Laredo Heat. They can push some more numbers towards the El Paso penalty area. It's Laredo Heat's first Open Cup game since 2019. They're trying to make it count here tonight. It's bent in by Villanueva, and it's headed back towards the edge of the area while El Paso will clear their lines. It's played back for Tavares. Reese. And Bonaire clips it onto this near side. Avila's first to it. But it'll be a Laredo Heat throw. Escobar's pressure here. Farkalen. No one to really maneuver in the forward motion there. Back for Dolenmeyer. What a steady presence. Noah Dolenmeyer's been not just this season, but over the years with El Paso, particularly last season. He really emerged as one of the better USL Championship defenders.
Great ball.
Towards the byline here. And on the back heel, which could still present a chance for El Paso, and they score! Well, Laredo just did not deal with that defensively. And Locomotive, in the 51st minute, take the lead in the Open Cup.
Really well-worked goal by El Paso Locomotive, getting numbers higher up the field. It starts with the off-the-ball runs here from Mendez. And as this ball pops out, Laredo Heat need to do a better job at just clearing their lines. Too many players taking touches. Really good strike from Abitia in the end. Right on top of that 6-yard box. Being at the right place at the right time is a skill of a striker. And still not an easy finish on the full volley. Leaning away from the ball, gets clean contact. And he gives El Paso Locomotive the lead here at NMB territory.
First goal for El Paso for Diego Abitia. And Locomotive, maybe slightly against the run of play, have the lead. It looked like it was Calvio on that initial attempt. It gets blocked away, and then Abitia basically had the entirety of the goal to aim at. And gives the visitors a much-needed exhale and a 1-0 advantage. And now we'll really get to see what the Laredo Heat are made of. Down a goal here, despite some really positive showing so far.
Next 5 minutes really important for both of these sides. For Laredo Heat, you cannot let this thing get out of hand. You understand that you need to have patience on how you attack this game. You do not need to equalize it within the next 5 minutes, because if you do that and go for this result, you can leave yourself exposed going back to the way. And for El Paso Locomotive, momentum's in your favor. Another good opportunity here if you can connect that ball.
Calvio settles it down for Locomotive. It's played forward by Coronado, and Bonaire is there. Long ball looped over the top here, and it's going to be touched out by Dolenmeyer. Throw in for Laredo Heat. And the referee, I think, is acknowledging the fourth official here on this near side. There's going to be some changes for the hosts here. Looks like at least two. Substitutions for Johnny Ibarra. Phoenix Roque is going to come on first, it looks like, and then Juan Cubillas is going to come in for Montoya on that second change. First two changes of the night for Laredo Heat. Roque more of a midfield player. And certainly Cubillas is in there for his attacking prowess. He helps this along. Villanueva clipped over the top. The header is central, but the offside flag is up.
Heat substitutions for the Laredo Heat. Coming in, number 27, J.J. Cubillas. Going out, number 18, Asael Montoya. Coming in, number 6, Kickoff Roque. Going out, number 10, Ivan Zamora.
I just confirmed the changes inside the stadium as well. Zamora and Montoya withdrawn. Heno Roque, Juan Cubillas in for Johnny Ibarra's group, as well, looked to be all right at the end of that heavy sequence of challenges. Cubillas right into the action on this far side. Ian Reese surveys the scene here. Not able to find Cubillas.
Laredo Heat has lost that verticality that we saw in that first half. Every single time when one of the two center backs that are advancing the ball, all attacking players want the ball to feet. The difference was in that first 45 minutes, you had players spinning and attacking the space in behind.
It's one back by Laredo on this near side. Incisive feed.
Good ball.
It's clipped over the top here. Cubillas holds it up for Laredo Heat. Tavares. Romero for Reese. Villanueva stands it up into the middle. It was towards Espinal, and Mora corrals it. Sent forward by Bonner. Dolenmeyer there first. Laredo put more pressure on Mora, but Mora gets it away cleanly. Reese's header. A lovely stabilizing control there by Romero. The hold-up play there was well done. A couple of shouts for a foul in there. Referee plays advantage. This is Jung. Chumasi there again. A couple of good interventions from him in this game. Throw-ins taken quickly. And it's Avila to Chumasi who clears for El Paso. Cubillas. Collision away from the ball there is Roque. Tries to get the ball back. Now, which way is the referee pointed here? He originally pointed as if it was a Laredo free kick, but I think he's pointing to an earlier moment in the sequence. It's a free kick for El Paso.
Yeah, playing advantage here as Coronado almost gets bulldozed over in the middle of the park once he plays the ball. But it was a little bit of confusing, the motion of the referee, pointing one way, pointing the other. Which way is up, which way is down, had me confused, John.
Well, onto this near side now. Izada played square and then back to him on the near side. Chumasi under pressure. Trying to find the angle for a ball back from Mora. And then a poor feed over the top, gives it right back to Laredo as we approach the hour mark. Roque. Roque trying to slither that through. Espinal could not corral it. Goal from Diego Abitia is first in Locomotive colors as the USL Championship outfit up by a goal to nil. Reese for Jung. Dispossessed by Quezada, did really well. Jung continued his run. Avila. Under pressure from Villanueva. Coronado for Calvio. Well played through by El Paso. Farkaland down this far side. Numbers in the middle here. Farkaland cuts it back. There's two men on him. He goes down. Referee says it's just outside the 18-yard box, and I mean just outside.
Farkaland doing a really good job with the ball at his feet, twisting and turning. And I'll tell you what, that seems like it's on the line, and on the line is in. It should be a penalty for El Paso Locomotive. I think Garcia gets this one wrong. And it's not where the player falls, it's where the initial contact is. And Ascobias comes in right there. And that is on top of the 18-yard box, on the line, which is inside the box. It should be a penalty for 12 yards out. But yet, Laredo Heat get away with one.
Still the free kick to deal with, of course. Remember, of course, friendly reminder, no VAR to go back and check something like that. El Paso look poised to double their lead here. From the free kick, oh, marvelous save, Bonaire. And Bonaire may have hurt himself in the process. That's a big save to keep Laredo in it.
Calvillo trying to go goalkeeper side, try to catch Bonaire cheating. Good recovery from the goalkeeper. Almost seems like a cramp after the way that he goes down. Full extension. Love the positioning as well from the save.
Bonaire is back up. And El Paso still have a corner to work with here. Another high arcer. Cushioned header out. And Los Locos will try it again from the opposite side. These feel like big defensive moments for Laredo Heat, trying to hang around here at 1-0 down. El Paso will try again. It's their third set piece of this sequence. It's a low drive, good header away. Ubias tries to chase it down for Laredo and forces the ball all the way back to Sebastian Mora. Mora over the top, it pinballs in behind. Reese's header away is further helped along. Villanueva. Bonaire will clear it. Was Cubillas brought down? Yes, he was. That's a free kick. Referee does bring this to a halt, which would indicate that we might have some more changes afoot here on this near side. It will be Laredo Heat making some swaps. Michael Salazar is going to come in, and so is Cyrus Harmon. These are two players that Laredo Heat just brought into the squad today, officially. Michael Salazar goes out for a shot here. Oh, did that take a deflection? Yes, it did. It's a corner. Michael Salazar is actually a former MLS player, Montreal, Houston, and a former Belize men's international. Cyrus Harmon, formerly of Des Moines Menace, who of course are Open Cup darlings over the years. However, they did go out to Indy 11 earlier in the week. Now both of these players are trying to help Laredo fight back here. Laredo recover this. Right back toward this near side, a flicked on header. In the path of Harmon. Harmon plays it across. It was a dangerous ball. Touched back out onto this near side. Villanueva right back into the action. And then Roque is tripped. Another free kick for Laredo on the near side.
Another opportunity here for Laredo Heat to put this ball into a dangerous area and put pressure on Mora and this Locomotive back line. Desired location from here is right between that penalty mark and goal line to really ask questions in terms of the positioning from Mora.
We saw there Jung and Espinal with the two players withdrawn on the last Laredo Heat double change. It's going to be Roque and Villanueva over this free kick for Laredo Heat in dire need of an equalizer.
A+ on the DJ as well, Sean. He's been phenomenal.
A++. In by Roque. Maybe a C- on that set piece attempt from Laredo.
Yeah, you need to pull this a little bit farther away from Mora. The height is good, the pace is good, just the location far too close for the goalkeeper.
A bit of an awkward header back here by Tavares, who then hooks it high into the air and then nudges it down for Roque. By the way, speaking of grades, as Tavares is brought down, Peg Energy Stadium was just finished back in 2024. It looks fantastic. Talk about an A+ on that. And as we hinted at earlier, the crowd's been fantastic here. They always are, by the way. Anytime Laredo play here in USL League 2 play, they get close to 1,000, if not more than 1,000 fans. We're in that territory here again tonight. The fans have been fantastic.
And they've been loud, they've been cheering. It's been a hostile environment in favor of Laredo Heat. And early in that first half, the sunset as well was phenomenal. I know the YouTube chat was loving the scenics that our crew was getting. The sunset behind the stands, phenomenal. A+ all around for Peg Energy.
That's clipped forward by Reese.
Good touch.
And kept in, yeah, by Harmon. Did really well, still doing well on this near side. Cyrus Harmon continues to go here. They can't get him off it. Lays the ball off. Now Roque. That provided a little bit of a spark here for Laredo. Reese plays it forward. Further helped along down that far side. Cubillas. He stood up, but the flag goes up. It went out. It's a Laredo throw. Villanueva. Ooh, and you can see bottom of your screen, Rubio Rubin is being prepared for El Paso Locomotive. has already scored 3 times in his first 2 appearances since joining Los Locos during the offseason. And of course, he's still a full Guatemalan men's international, and right on cue, in he comes. And he will replace the goal scorer, Diego Abitia. Well, talk about bringing on a heavy hitter with 20 minutes to play in the Open Cup.
Ruby Rubin is going to give you experience. He's going to give you quality, a player that is well-traveled throughout his career, had spent time in Europe. He played in the MLS, found a lot of success with the Charleston Battery under Ben Pierman, and now El Paso Locomotive's striker that can do a bit of everything in the attacking phase of play. Look for him to try to find the back of the net and put this game out of reach.
Still just 30 years old, by the way, Rubio Rubin. He's got a lot of career left, considering all he's done. This is one back by Laredo. Harmon, was he fouled? No, says the referee. It's poked back towards the edge of the area. Chumasi, how important has he been tonight? Cool, calm, and collected as Mora clears. And then Harmon commits a foul on this near side. Calvillo brought down. And I think that's because it's his first. It's just going to be a talking to, no more than that. Despite Junior Gonzalez actually asking the referee for a booking there. Kubias. Great hustle, nearly won it back. Oh, Laredo Heat. But it could open up here because of that for El Paso. Down this far side. Rubin's in the middle, it's Farkalen. Still Farkalen, the little layoff. The cross is blocked. And it will be a corner for Locomotive.
Start to see heavy legs come into the picture for Laredo Heat, so spaces start to open up for El Paso Locomotive. Farkalen doing a good job, but taking just one too many touches, allowing the Heat to get into their defensive set because you had an overload on this near post with Avila and Rubio Rubin.
Now then, from the corner for El Paso. It's really whipped in there. Oh, and Dollenmeyer actually got his head to that. It pinballs last off of Tavares. And El Paso will get a second try at the corner from the near side this time. You look up, 18 minutes now, plus stoppage time left. El Paso would love to grab a second goal here and essentially put this to bed. But Laredo Heat are battling to stay in the hunt here. Calvillo stays short for a potential short corner option. This is going to be looped in behind. The header down is out of play. It's a goal kick. The longer El Paso can't get that second goal, the more Laredo Heat will feel they can still get the equalizer. Crossfield ball onto this near side for Harmon. Certainly brought the energy since coming in. Kubias over the top. He's going to be fended off. Chumasi out to this near side. And that's a foul. Free kick. Challenge from Harmon. And El Paso are back on it. And smart of Harmon to walk away. Last thing Laredo Heat need at the moment is more time wasting or more stoppages. Oh, as Mendez plays this over the top, but Rubio Rubin is offside.
As we approach the 75th minute mark now for Laredo Heat, expect them to play a little bit more direct, almost like Project Hail Mary, to put this ball into a dangerous area and start to put some pressure on El Paso Locomotive.
Ricochets out for a throw-in on the near side. Villanueva. And Avila's pressure leads to a turnover. El Paso look to bring it up the other end with Farkalen. Farkalen lays it back off. It's given back to Laredo. Ian Reese. That is looped over the top down this far side. Dolenmeyer. It's all over it. Maybe not the best of clearances away. It's still a Laredo Heat throw. Johnny Ibarra, in the build-up to this game, told his players, like Montoya and others, that it's your time. It's your time to make some history here. For Laredo Heat with the Open Cup back in town. They have 15 minutes to try and find a leveler here. Harmon gives it a chase. Forces the errant clearance out of play.
He's been good since coming onto the field, Harmon, just with his work rate, his physicality, especially ability to run with the ball at his feet as well. The next step in that progression is his decision-making needs to be a bit cleaner in that final third.
A couple of rash challenges there from Alex Mendez. Free kick for the hosts. And it's taken quickly by Roque. Flipped over the top, the header towards Cubillas. And on the follow-up, Romero is going to pick up a yellow card for committing that foul. So Manny Romero picks up the yellow card there. A little bit of a concern here for El Paso, as they still have a player down on the back end of that.
As this ball pops out, the left elbow catches Calvillo and comes through. You always run the risk to get in trouble when you lead with that elbow and it's exposed, comes through the back of Eric Calvillo, who's put in an absolute shift for El Paso Locomotive.
The only other live game going on in the Open Cup right now, Tennessee Tempo, 1-0 up for Chattanooga Red Wolves. They're at halftime. On a day where we've already seen a couple of cup sets. Mora will come forward to take this for Locomotive. There is Romero. Now, do the Laredo Heat have one more burst left in them here? El Paso have been much better in the second half. It's led to the goal. Diego Abitia, at the moment, his goal would send El Paso on to round two. There's still time for Laredo to rescue this. It's diagonal ball onto this near side. Villanueva's pressure. It's out for a throw. Villanueva again. Hooked forward by Escobar. Cubillas heads this down. Goalkeeper commits. A challenge comes in. Referee with a look at it points for a corner on the far side. Clearly the fans were asking for a penalty.
Starting to put more and more pressure, this Laredo Heat within this back line. Dolan Meyer needs to be better at just clearing this ball. As this ball comes in, Salazar gets the initial contact. There's a little bit of contact, but it would have been really harsh from Edgar Garcia to point to the spot. Initially, it looked a lot worse than what it was, but after that replay, it's a good no call by the referee.
10 minutes of normal time left. And Laredo still have a corner to work with on the back end of this. As was it Dolenmeyer told to run off to this near side. From the corner. Goes past just about everybody. It's hooked back to the edge of the area. Escobar on the turn. Oh, it's an overhead kick. It doesn't get there. Escobar again, saved by Mora. Now Cyrus Harmon tried a scissor kick to put it back into the mix. Escobar's shot tame enough for Mora to save.
That sets up phenomenally for Harmon, trying to do the spectacular, but it's a good decision in the end as Escobar's just trying to bend it around that far post and Mora with the traffic in front of him. 82 minutes in, extremely impressed with what we've seen from Laredo Heat. Their mentality, their fitness, decision-making in the ball, not making this an easy game whatsoever for a USL Championship club.
This is looped over the top. Harmon beaten to it by Dolenmeyer. It's another throw. Another throw in for Laredo Heat. On the near side, looks like another change as well. Alejandro Guerra comes in for Laredo here. El Paso, we're getting a change ready. We'll get back to that in a moment. And it goes right back out. It's an El Paso throw. And I think that'll give time for Junior Gonzalez to make his move here. Omar Mora, it appears, is getting set to come on for Los Locos. And in he comes. That's going to be it for Jimmy Farkalin. So I believe both teams now are out of at least their regulation time. Substitutions. Laredo have 7 minutes plus stoppage time to get the equalizer. Cubillas off the give and go. Was he dragged down? Yes, he was. And it's a yellow card. Looks like Dolenmeyer is going to be booked here, and Laredo Heat are in prime position for a set piece.
Fantastic interplay in that central location. Cubillas doing a phenomenal job at running off of his line. It's a clear foul, it's a clear yellow card. The only thing that helps Dolenmeyer here is that he has players around him. Teammates close in proximity. So Edgar Garcia cannot pull out a red card. Yellow is the right decision here, but what a phenomenal action that is for Cubillas.
There's going to be 4 men in the El Paso wall. Escobar stands over this for the Laredo Heat. 6 minutes plus stoppage time left. Escobar sends it deep into the Texan night.
He's gonna want that one back, Escobar. A player that has been a constant threat for Laredo Heat. Just gets underneath it, leaning back, gets it all wrong.
Number 28, Lamar.
Well, Ricky, how many times have we talked about it, whether it's been Open Cup or other leagues we cover? Set pieces, particularly at this juncture of the game, cannot be wasteful moments, and Laredo would want that one back. That is sent back over the top. It could fall kindly here. Oh, another critical Chumasi intervention with Mora committing and not getting anywhere near it. Harmon's pressure leads to another Laredo Heat throw-in on the far side. The long throw. It's headed away by Dolenmeyer, further cushioned along. Then Reese. Now Paso could break here. This is looped over the top. It's a lovely touch. This is Omar Mora. Good save by Bonaire to keep Laredo in it.
And he's been good, Bonaire has. Making some big-time saves, denying El Paso Locomotive their second. Good ball in from Ruby Rubin. But not the best is the first touch for Mora. Just slows his momentum down, allowing him to cut down the angle.
Cubillas further down the line. Escobar wins another throw-in. Roque. It's clipped back into the middle. Cushioned header down. Roque lets it go. It's deflected. But it was going wide, and Mora had it read pretty well the entire way.
Yeah, Roque hits it extremely well, especially with the traffic in front. Can easily get deflected, end up in the back of the net. Watch out here. The ref calling 6 seconds.
He has. It's a corner. Sebastian Mora takes too long to release the ball, and he's given Laredo Heat a corner here. How important could that turn out to be?
Can't remember the last time that I saw this be called. But yet Laredo Heat will take it. And what an opportunity this is just to whip this ball into the mixer.
3 minutes of the 90 left. From the corner, it's headed down, and Mora's there to make amends. And I don't think he'll take as much time over it this time. He learns his lesson. That was headed towards Rubin, who looked to be offside. That allows Tavares to reset for Laredo Heat. Can the League Two side pull level late on here? Well, that's a poor challenge. Foul, free kick, El Paso. Well, Dolenmeyer and Locomotive are going to take some time over this, of course. The Laredo Heat fans and players taking exception to that. It's missed kick at the back there. Reese gets it clear, but it's back with El Paso. And then it's a really good recovery challenge by Harmon. But more pressure here. Mora. It's poked out for Calvio. Rubio Rubin seals it. Well, another moment where Laredo Heat dilly-dallied over it defensively. And Rubio Rubin just cannot stop scoring for El Paso. It's his 4th goal in 3 games in all competitions, and he surely has punched Locomotive's ticket to round 2 of the Open Cup.
Phenomenal individual effort here from Rubio Rubin, channeling his Eddie Guerrero, using his strength just to fend off his defender and then put the ice in milk. Phenomenal strike from an experienced player that is full of confidence for this moment in El Paso Locomotive. And most importantly, to give them a little bit of breathing room in the 90th minute here.
I believe that's Rubio Rubin's first ever goal in the Open Cup. He's played a few times in this competition over the years. It's also likely the killer blow for Laredo Heat. We approach stoppage time now. Cubillas. It's cleared away. Bonaire will come to get it as we enter stoppage time. And now Laredo Heat will need a minor miracle here in order to get both of the goals back. Here is Rubin. By the way, talk about a super sub. That was the first really main action as far as Rubin being a target in behind. And he takes full advantage of his first and only big chance of the night.
You talk about progressing in the soccer pyramid. It's those little minute details, the ruthlessness, being clinical, making those opportunities count. Once you do get to that final third, exhibit A there from Rubio Rubin.
It's like there's 4 added minutes still to play here in Texas. You have to spare a thought for Laredo. They were excellent throughout much of this game. Just in a game of moments, there were a couple of moments where El Paso pounced and seized the moment. Abitia in the 51st minute, again on a similar moment where Laredo just couldn't get it cleared quickly enough. He opened the scoring, and then again another moment where Laredo Heat, for lack of a better term, they just dallied on it, didn't really get it cleared definitively. And the class of Rubio Rubin shines through again.
And knockout games. A lot of times they're won and lost in both boxes. Through the run of play, you can argue Laredo Heat probably the better of the two sides, creating more opportunities, playing quicker in between lines. But that's not going to put a score on the scoreboard. El Paso Locomotive, their box defending, especially in this second half, has been really impressive. And once they have gotten to that final third with Abitia and Rubio Rubin, they made no mistake about finding the back of the net. Professional and a mature performance shown by El Paso Locomotive here.
We talked about how they beat Monterey Bay on the road last time out. That was the first league win in a road opener for El Paso since March 25th, 2023. And they continue their strong road form here in the Open Cup. This was one of the games, by the way, that was highlighted as a possible cup set, really more for what Laredo Heat are capable of than what El Paso aren't capable of. And Laredo showed signs of it. There was a lot of positive moments that Johnny Ibarra and this group can look back on. But you mentioned it, Ricky, too much class, professionalism, and quality from El Paso. And they've got it right where they want it at the moment, inside the opposition penalty area. It is going to be won back by Laredo, but with just seconds remaining here. Here is Rubin. There's a player just getting back up for Laredo as Omar Mora picks it up here.
Good
Look at
ball.
Rubin continuing his run. He could not quite hold on to it. It's Still with El Paso here. And was that a foul? You better believe it was. And it's going to get a little feisty here. Mendez was upended. There's no questions about that. But there's no need for it to boil over this much at the end here.
As Mendez does not take kindly to a really rash challenge put forth by Escobar. A little bit of frustration starting to set in clearly for Laredo Heat. As Escobar does see yellow, as well as Mendez.
Both are into the referee's book. And that is it. Full time. El Paso come to Laredo and beat the Heat in the U.S. Open Cup. Not many teams could say that in the last year or so. This is such a tough place to come for so many League Two sides. But the USL Championship outfit win it by 2-0, and they're on to round 2 for a second consecutive year in the Open Cup.
Look, it was competitive. Laredo Heat did a phenomenal job through the 90 minutes, staying like for like with El Paso Locomotive. Where they struggled was in both boxes, unable to clear their lines, unable to capitalize, and El Paso Locomotive did just that, and that's why they advanced into the next round of the U.S. Open Cup.
Look at the match stats here. So many chances, 15 shots each. El Paso slightly edging it out as far as shots on target and possession. And again, just 2 moments that were given to El Paso, lack of clearances on both, and the quality for Locomotive sees them be clinical in both of those chances.
I'll say what we've seen from Junior Gonzalez in this El Paso Locomotive side, they have an identity, they are ruthless, and they have also the ability to roll up their sleeves and just grind out results. Really good start for in 2026 for the Locomotive.
And El Paso are on to round 2. Tip of the cap to Laredo Heat. Was really fun to get experience their soccer culture, their fans and their players here. They put on a great spectacle here. However, they bow out in the return to the Open Cup after a 7-year absence. For Ricky Lopez Espen and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. That does it for our coverage here from Texas. El Paso march on to round 2 with a 2-0 win over Laredo Heat tonight. We say so long from the Lone Star State. Good night, everybody.